a lot to go through. I guess the basic question for me so far is how exposed is Aflac in terms of the insurance payouts that you may have to make in the middle of the virus?
Well, thank you, Alex. First of all, I will say this. We have a group of people who are working a playbook for our capital and liquidity. We came out of 2019 well capitalized. We're working to preserve our invested assets. We're drawing off of various models, pandemic scenarios to anticipate claims risk to our capital position. And, we're modeling our premium persistency scenarios. So we feel that we have the adequate stress testing, and at this point we are preparing for what we believe will be coming our way, which is an increase in claims.
In terms of the supplemental policies, if people seek less medical care to avoid coming in contact with the virus, how do you see demand playing out for that? Like, if I don't get treatment for something, what does that mean then for what I do with Aflac and then your bottom line?
Well, one of the things that we know is, unlike in other industries, from a healthcare perspective, you have people who are delaying going and seeking treatment. So the delay of seeking treatment only exacerbates acute illness. And so the concern that we have is that as people delay getting treatment because they're afraid to go to the hospitals for fear of the COVID-19 virus, that they will then have more acute symptoms and then have to then present to the hospital in other ways. And so we believe that our claims will start coming in as people are starting to get more comfortable with going to the hospitals and have those acute situations.
On the flip side, sort of a different side of the question is we're seeing sort of mass unemployment. I mean, we already have claims that 22 million people filed for initial jobless claims over the last few weeks. Are you expecting and preparing for cases where people just can't pay their premiums?
Well, absolutely. And, one of the things that we've done from a policyholder perspective is, first of all, we go out and we make sure that they understand what their benefits are. We know we have hospital plans, ICU plans, and short-term disability plans, and so we try and make sure that our policyholders understand what they purchased and how they use them. The other thing is we're providing telemedicine. We're making sure that telemedicine is utilized in the same way that an in-person visit to the doctor or healthcare provider is looked at. So, one of the things that we try and do is make sure that our policyholders understand their coverage and that we can ensure that they have what they need in order to deal with their specific circumstances.
How do you deal with that, though, in terms of looking at the losses that you may have to take or the payouts that you're going to have to make? I mean, you're going to have to model a business, right? So how do you do that when you don't know what kind of premiums are not going to get paid, et cetera?
Well, we model various scenarios, and the thing with our insurance is we make sure that we're putting up the appropriate reserves, and we expect that we're going to pay those benefits. The other thing that we're doing just outside of what we do with our product is we're also giving to humanitarian organizations for those people who don't have insurance. And so Direct Relief is an organization, 72-year-old humanitarian mission, medical mission that provides assistance to over 30 million patients who are at risk in various underserved communities. Their service is through clinics and community health centers. And so we have 1 in 7 ethnic minorities served, 1 in 9 children are served, and just 68% of them are at or below the poverty level. So, what we're trying to do at Aflac is make sure that we're serving our policyholders and we're serving the community after service to our employees.
So just to pick up on one thing there, in terms of reserves, can you give me some insight into how much you've increased your reserves and what you may expect that build out up to be over the next 6 months?
Well, we have a normal process of increasing reserves, and in particular, we right now we're in a quiet period, so I don't want to really respond to that question specifically, other than to say that we will continue to make sure that we're focusing on preserving our invested assets, preserving our credit ratings, and maintaining our strong regulatory position. Our interest is ensuring that we're able to pay any claim that comes in the door, and so that's what we're preparing for from a financial perspective and operationally as well.